shit had me dying.
I literally just came in the house like 30 minutes ago, so I'm catching up.
Yo, Michael Jordan would never have a moment where he doesn't have to worry about a meme. I'm like, even Kobe's funeral was like, damn, now they're gonna have me another meme for the next.
You know what was bad about the "fuck them kids" meme was the fact, like, his face was so priceless. It was almost like he just said it. It was like, all right, take the picture. Oh my god. Oh man. Well, this is your first of Framerates podcast, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome to C Virus edition.
I'm looking for some statistics before I get started.
Sure. How many people don't wash their hands versus how many people that do, and then how many people that do wash their hands catch the virus first before the ones that don't.
Welcome to your new reality, everybody.
No, this is not gonna last long.
It's still reality, and it's our new reality for 8 weeks or whatever it's gonna be.
Right. It'll probably be about 8 weeks. That sounds all right. 127 of the First and Framerates podcast. I'm VF Baller, DJ 81, Bill's fourth. The whole gang is here. Yesterday had a lot of things happen. I got a timeline of events that happened yesterday on March 11th, and
even more happened today.
And
yep,
a little bit extra happened today, so it's a good reason why we're continuing doing the podcast on Thursdays. Nevertheless, I did an impromptu live stream about the NBA shutting down because I thought that was really important. I just wanted to give my thoughts, and I want to hear other people's thoughts. A lot of good information came out that episode. Well, I guess not episode, but the straight live stream. Saw some new faces. Good to see that. Don't know if they'll be here today, but if so,
they better be.
Yeah, especially when the whole crew's here.
Yeah.
VF out here stealing views.
Listen, you guys are my co-hosts, but just remember, this is my channel.
Oh, now we're gonna. Okay, I see what it is.
VF got territorial as hell.
My thing is,
you're like, this is my show.
My thing is, I would never start a podcast without you guys knowing.
You already
not
did that before already.
I probably did it once.
You did it like 5 times.
Oh yeah, DJ, VF walked over like a dog and walked over to a tree. Let me piss on the tree real quick, show you motherfuckers who's boss. Oh my god, go ahead, VF.
That was good.
Nah,
that was
man,
good.
Y'all good, man. I mean, y'all
no, it was
a podcast, but you know, I'm
the alpha in this bitch.
Everybody's enjoying it, man. We good.
Yeah, we got it.
Oh, it's all good. But it's a lot of information today. I mean, I'm not.
Oh, King Davis.
Not trying to make it a serious tone, but to some extent it is, because I know some people who have elderly people in their family. I'm one of the people that they know. I'm somewhat worried about it.
Yeah.
But as far as everything shutting down, I think that's a little bit of a stretch.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't disagree with it, but I understand it. But there's.
If everyone could get tested properly, then I could see it as a stretch. But right now, we're kind of lacking. I'm going to show some statistics to say that yes, testing is good, but I don't think it's warranted enough to shut everything down.
You know,
they already shutting schools down all over this.
Yeah, in Maryland, they already shut down schools for the next 2 weeks.
This is what I'm saying.
They're trying to limit the spread of it.
Like that's saying, statistically, kids don't have this virus. Why?
Oh no! Don't say that, because they can still catch it.
They can catch
statistically, it hasn't been discovered yet.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, statistically, as of right now, there aren't any kids showing signs of having this. I'm not saying.
But what about the kids in China?
That's what I'm saying. Even there, it's not. I mean, I've been following Taiwanese news for the past 4 to 8 weeks because China don't give out any news. The kids, they're basically they took the mask from the kids. Iran they barely have any news.
We know people improperly use masks.
Well, here's my thing.
It's not the fact that improperly they're just saying they're not giving them to the kids because they're not catching it. That's all I'm saying.
Look. I'm just saying it's kind of dicey to because we already know that the weaker populations are gonna. Weaker populations. The ones that are most likely targeted by this, like that's gonna affect the most, will be your elderly population. Right. And normally it is the kids in a flu situation. But this is an abnormal situation.
And it makes it more abnormal because ever since December 30th, you haven't heard, I think it's like 0.00002 kids that have it. That's maybe one out of everybody who has it. That's extremely low.
Yeah, but the thing is, we still have conflicting reports on how bad this can get, what other symptoms are involved. They're bringing things to a standstill because so many things are up in the air. That's why
they're trying to pinpoint it mainly.
And this is where I agree on the reasons why they're shutting everything down. Right. I don't agree on it because when you look at numbers, it's like, okay, I don't understand it. But when you look at like the fact of the unknown, that is why you're doing it. And I totally get it.
We also got to look at the fact that, the United States is kind of slow in reacting. They kind of watched it happen. And it was like, okay, we'll jump over it as soon as it already.
Yeah, Trump acted like Trump acted like this shit was fucking Bigfoot. I don't see anything.
Yeah, I think his ass is infected.
Fucking dumbass.
All right.
I think he's infected.
All right. Calm down.
Fuck him. He hasn't even.
You just had a live stream where you went off on this. Let us get it.
Well, we haven't got it calm down.
No, what I'm saying is just calm down with the stuff I tweeted out earlier. That doesn't help.
What do
you mean?
What'd you tweet earlier?
Yeah, I didn't see
why are we pointing the blame at people? Let's try to.
We're not blaming anybody.
We're not blaming anybody. We're talking
about what happened.
We're talking right. We're stating facts on what he did.
I'm not in the defense of defending anybody, but the main thing is we have to come up with something at some point.
Oh, and that's what they're doing. Yeah,
exactly, and that's where we move forward because King David in the chat saying his grandmother's 82. My grandmother's pushing 90. They still have to go to the hospital for basic checkups.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, we need to just, don't worry about everybody. But I'm looking at the 75 to 80% of people who are dying are over the age of 60. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at people who are.
Both my parents are over 60. So.
Right. My mom is 60. Now, and it's hard for me to even think about that because I don't even look at my mom as somebody like that. That's the thing. It's like, and don't get me wrong. Maybe I came off wrong because I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm coming off as a little bit sensitive about the subject because
you do sound a bit high strung.
Yeah, because
I can sense that.
I have older people in my family that are living in Georgia, and I ain't gonna say the outbreak, but there are cases in Georgia, so I am a little bit on edge.
Oh, there are cases here in Maryland too.
Well, we have the second highest. We have the second highest in the country here. So I'm with you, bro. But come on, bro.
But right now, it just seems like as far as the United States, as far as their response, when this was going on in China, we should have been preparing for this, and now we're doing what we're doing to try to get out in front of it. But we're going to be behind it because our system is not set up to handle stuff like this.
I spoke to you.
South Korea testing is right on it as we speak.
There's no system to really.
I don't know.
DJ, I spoke to you the other day about my theory as to why it took so long, but that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna bring conspiracy theories on here, even though there are a lot of facts to back it up. But it should have been reacted to faster. I'm sorry, we have the best intelligence. We have the best intelligence system, the highest regarded in the world.
I do have a question.
Mm-hmm.
There was a travel ban from China back when.
Oh, hold on.
They didn't. They even quarantined the people who initially bought it here. That was on the cruise. When? Because that's where that's where it came from. The people who was on that cruise for all that long time. It's not like they came over here. And
780 million people in China under travel restrictions. That was February 17th.
Okay, they're under travel restrictions since February 17th. When they found out the people that was on that Japanese cruise, I don't know what kind of cruise it was, something Diamond Cruise.
Oh, and we were slow to react to that one.
That's what I'm saying. How long they were out at bay before they came in? Because that's when it hit the United States, when those people came in. And then even before then, they held them at bay for what? How long? I don't know I know the only timeline I got is the timeline from March 11 when they start. Because really, this episode is supposed to be about the sports side, but it is very interesting to know because I know those two things happen. I know that there was a travel ban, nobody's coming in and out, and then we had
it wasn't an overall travel ban because as it was slowly spreading west through Asia and through Europe, then people are still traveling west and heading over here. So we're getting hit on both sides if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's like the people came in from California, I don't know when, and then those people who was on the people that was on the cruise moved up. I guess someone was in Washington.
But what about the people that traveled through the planes?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You had those people as well. That was after the cruise situation. But
no, that was all during. I'm like, you heard about the cruise situation the most, but at the same time, you had people traveling. I'm when it spreads that fast.
That's what I know. Like, when was the timeline of that? Because I mean, as of
it's
right now,
it's all happening at the same.
So it all happened. So it all happened at the same time. So people,
you got to think about the way the news reports it. Of course, they're going to focus on what they can get their hands on. Versus
the thing is, I don't really follow the news because they only tell you what they want to tell you. I need numbers.
See, and that's what I'm saying. It's like you can apply that thinking, that logic to all forms of media.
That is true, but I mean, when you go to the CDC. When you go to when you go to the World Health Organization,
shoot, you showed us how China hides their numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's why I'm not even. I mean, China's media is just as bad. I need, like I said, I want to look at statistics from like scientists and people that are doctors.
Shoot, if you can find it right now.
I have something right now. I'm gonna show that later, but nevertheless. It's just a mess at the end of the day. I'm not here to point to say U.S. did this or China did that. The main thing is we need to get this under control. We have to. And based on things that are getting shut down is a way of doing it. Do I agree with some of the things that are shut down? No, but I understand it. I think it's more of a domino effect instead of just, hey, let's actually take precautions because you don't want to be caught with your pants down when one company or one entity is actually shut down and the other one's not, and they have a problem as well. Once that company, they're going to be like, well, why you didn't do what the NBA did? So I think it's more of a precautionary measure, and I get it.
This is almost like a repeat of the HIV situation in the early 80s when countries and bureaucrats were fighting over how we're going to handle this. Meanwhile, the virus was just spreading like wildfire and then mutated a few times to the point where we are now just coming to a cure in the 2020s and 2019 2020s.
And you know what the thing about that is with the HIV virus, the problem with that is we had basically straight up death. You catch AIDS, you're dead. There's no people recovering. I mean, we're not going to talk about Magic Johnson, but we didn't have people recovering.
There are actually 2 people that have been cured.
We're talking about the early 90s.
Well, remember,
I'm talking about when the thing was like, when it was like spreading, late 80s.
Yeah. No, people were just dropping like flies.
Right. No, I'm saying, remember, AIDS and HIV
are 2 separate things.
Yeah.
Right.
Because one's a breakdown. Like, once you get to AIDS, it's literally you're dying of something else.
Right. Yeah, it's the breakdown of your immune system. I get it. But I'm just saying, when back then, a lot of people thought that HIV was the end all be all because there was no cure. Everybody thought that your immune system was going to go down to the point where you caught AIDS. But the thing between that and this, it's only, I mean, I'm not saying that in an insensitive way. The death toll of it is like nearly 80 to 90% people that are over the age of 60. I'm not saying that, I'm not dumbing it down to say don't worry about it, because I'm a big proponent of washing your ass and being clean, because nobody wants to get sick of anything. But when we're looking at the fact that it's spreading the way it is, and now we're like looking around and doing, I'll say I feel maybe 30, maybe 40% of outrageous things. It started to make you think like what life is without sports. And we didn't come up with a proper intro. It doesn't matter at this point. I think at this point now, with everything that's been going on the past 3 or 4 days, we're just going to jump right into it. Everybody's here has been pretty much all right. I'm pretty sure for the most part, it's based on the past 15 minutes. I'm honestly, I'm a little worried because my grandmother lives in another state. She lives in a state where it's more prominent than it is here. I live in South Carolina. I think we may have one case, one person. Thank God of that. But I think in Georgia, it is rising to the hundreds. And no telling where these people are going to go. They can go to any hospital. Somebody may fuck up and don't clean nothing properly. My grandmother goes in for a checkup. Bam. And I'm not trying to wish it on her, but this is the reality that we're living in right now, because everybody ain't clean. Everybody don't do everything 100% right. We just don't know. So I'm keeping that in the back of my mind. I also have my mother. She doesn't go to the hospital much, but she's older. She can catch it out in public. You know, my aunts and uncles, they're around the same age as my mom. That's why it hits me a little bit harder because, you know, my wife, she has a slight issue with bronchitis every now and then, but I don't think it's going to be anything serious if she catches it. You know, my son, he's one. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really worried about any of the kids. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not. And maybe you can call me crazy, but I'm not. Myself, I'm okay, but I do travel across the state every day, so I don't know who I'm gonna come in contact with. So for me, it kind of hits a little more than others because I have an abundance of people that are just that are high risk to, per se. And I know. And I want to say this again because you two guys don't deserve it. I do apologize for coming off at y'all kind of harsh, but that's why
you're fine. Right. You're fine.
You know.
Yeah, you're fine. I don't think I took it as harsh. I took it as just you. Like I could tell you were high strung. I get it.
I mean, it sucks because last night. And it's not really dire, but I did try to call my grandmother last night. I know y'all probably heard that on the live stream yesterday. I mean, she didn't answer. I guess they were asleep or whatever. But I did feel better because I did talk to her today. And my uncle, she stays with my uncle and his wife. And my uncle, he has respiratory issues as well, but he's much younger. I mean, if my mother's 60 and he's the youngest out of all of them, he has to be like maybe 52. But he's going through some stuff. So I worry about him too. My grandmother possibly brings it home where he has to go to the doctor too. It's a lot going on. I mean, my family tree is a little bit older than others. So I kind of worry about that, but I don't want to dwell on that anymore. I got everybody in the chat here. Appreciate y'all for coming. I don't want to make it about myself. Let's really talk about this whole situation with sports. Bills, how do you feel about everything shutting down, and how do you feel about where it may go after that? I mean, in the long run.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm indifferent. I haven't been watching many sports, honestly, lately anyway. I haven't had time. It's not really gonna affect me so much. Maybe in a couple months, but I don't think it'll make it that far. If it does, then we'll revisit it. But right now, it's not bothering me too much. The NBA season was kind of winding down. The only thing entertaining was who was going to win the MVP, so I'm not really too worried about that. They're talking about perhaps coming back in April and just starting the playoffs, which would be fine. I mean, I'm not really too shaken up about the sports season being over the way everybody else is, but it sucks for the college athletes who didn't have a proper send-off. It sucks for Vince Carter, who didn't have a proper send-off really. Anybody who's a senior that was graduating, it sucks. It just does. It's just a bad situation all around. I'm happy for Knicks fans. They don't have to watch that shit show over TV. Other than that, it sucks, man. It's just a bad situation. Shout out to Mark Cuban, by the way. He came up with a great system for how to pay the people who would have to work every day in operations at the arena, and now they can't. Now that the games aren't going on, so shout out to him for being proactive.
That was a brilliant idea.
Yeah, he's not acting like a victim. He's acting like somebody who actually wants to get shit done.
Yeah, that I'm gonna be honest with you. That's very rare to see nowadays. To be honest,
the XFL, same thing. I'm looking. It says XFL.
Yeah, I just saw it too.
Yeah, all players will be paid for their base pay and benefits, so that's good. They got them covered.
But you know what? That's a good thing. You know what? That goes to show you another thing that the AAF went wrong, because the fact that Vince McMahon actually
he already pre-planned that for 3 years. That's
another reason why stuff like this. I mean, nobody expect for something like this to happen. Well, let's just say, for instance, like the ratings were down, or they only could do live streams like somewhere else because the networks didn't like what they saw on the field, or whatever. He still would have been able to take care of his players for at least 3 years. So, I mean, kudos, seriously. I mean, for me, I'm like you, Bills. I'm not really tripping too much on the sports being shut down. I can see where some people are like really taking it hard, but for some reason,
if it was a different part of the year, but we're in kind of like it's like, okay, baseball season's about to start, NBA season's winding down, football's not even a thought right now, so it's like, if it was December, oh fuck, oh yeah, it sucks, right?
And I'm still trying to process that as well. Would it really? It may suck more, but would it really suck?
It would, because football would be in a rotation every weekend, which is, for a lot of people, their favorite sport and really the only one they watch. Now you're kind of paying attention to the news.
Pooh's out of line for that comment. He need to stop that shit. See,
he doesn't watch college sports though. But I mean, at the same time,
he's out of line for that. He need to chill. It's one thing not to watch it, but to say that, come on, man.
Yeah, he put the Jordan meme on him.
Yeah,
call it the Pooh meme.
NFL draft could be done digitally.
No, the one before that.
No, I'm looking at the second one, because for me, the first one is like, hey, you don't watch it. The second one, so you're telling me that the NFL draft being done digitally is better than somebody walking across stage and getting the hat like everybody before?
Not only that, you're trying to tell me that the NFL draft done digitally is better than actually watching real basketball.
What's so fun about that?
Exactly.
Pooh's like, fuck them kids.
Hey, he's the same one that don't play Madden and go through the draft, whereas it's literally digital on that.
If you had tickets to a Jay-Z concert, would you be fine with them sending you a link to watch it on your computer?
No, fuck that link. You can just listen to it and just watch watch little wavelengths of sound.
Here's the link to Tidal. We'll give you a free 6-day fucking trial. You can listen to his concert.
Right.
I mean, for only 2 minutes.
Right. Right. You get one song. The shit cuts off right after that performance.
Sorry about the technical difficulties, but your time ran out.
Can I get an encore? Exactly. Do you want more? Okay, to access this full concert.
It'll say it's so funny. It'll say it's so funny. To access this content, please add another $2.99.
The motherfuckers bring up Siri's sister and shit on the phone.
Right.
Oh my god. Talking about digital.
Then it'll say some dumb shit like, "I'm sorry, Pooh, you cannot pirate this game."
You're the motherfucker that has been doing it on other devices.
Right. It shows here that you have pirated content on your device.
I mean, the only thing that I'm kind of like disappointed about, I did want to see what it would be like to have an empty arena NBA game.
Now that would have been funny. That or the NCAA one.
Oh my god! Imagine the Final
had
Four.
Baseball in an empty stadium. Baltimore
I saw PSG highlights, bro, and Neymar scored a goal, right? Mm-hmm. And instead of hearing the crowd roar, you heard the whole team yelling.
God!
It reminded me of
it's like you're playing backyard sports, yo.
That's what it was like. It was almost like you can
hear in a park or something.
Right, you can hear dudes playing pickup basketball in the background and you're like walking home from work. That was what it was like.
Well, you know what? We've had that with the Baltimore Orioles.
I remember that.
That was interesting to watch that game.
Okay. I meant to ask you, DJ. What are your thoughts about
this?
Forget about me throughout this.
I didn't. I was gonna go.
I know. You know when I do this, I'm pulling your leg every single time. Okay, but anyway. See.
What does Madden have to do with anything? What the fuck?
I told him. No, what I said. I told him he's willing to watch the NFL draft digitally, but he don't play Madden where they actually do it digitally.
Say okay, go ahead.
I'm chilling. I'm a gamer. I have plenty of games to play. I could finish. Right now, 2K, NBA 2K. You can pick up from where the NBA left off with my league.
Pretty much.
MLB's about to come out tonight.
Shit,
yeah,
bro.
I went and got.
That's what happens when you have no fucking video game console. Yeah, I was sitting there like, wait, what?
Yeah, it comes out tonight.
Confused.
Yeah, it does come out tonight.
Yeah, the early access edition. Okay. The regular one comes out on Tuesday, but
who's on the cover again? Javier Baez, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
And so I'll be playing that tonight. And then you got Pez. I'm like, I got all these games that I can be playing that could take the place of the actual sport for the time being.
Right.
I'm okay. And then at the same time, there was an interesting thing that somebody brought up earlier, and they were specifically talking about the NBA. What if the NBA were to, at a minimum, they're going to be out. They suspended the season for 30 days at a minimum. What if they were to pick up in the regular season, and they said the regular season ends in June or July?
They're actually talking
the playoffs. But here's the thing that they took from that. It was like, okay, what if we did a whole thing where, regular season runs as normal. Mm-hmm. It had ran as normal. So the last games are usually first week of April. Mm-hmm. How about we give the teams at least 2 weeks off to prepare for the playoffs?
Here's the issue.
And what's that?
The issue in this particular year is how the fuck do you prepare for the Olympics now?
Yep.
How does anybody send any type of competitor to the Olympics at this point?
Right. You're going to have to send the college kids.
Oof. I mean, even then.
You got to understand, not even sending them. You got to understand, people are coming from different countries. You may not want to risk it.
You already have the finalists on your team. You haven't called anybody else out. You have the select team, but they're NBA players too. Some of them are college teams, college players. So it's going to be really sketchy for the basketball side of it.
Yeah,
just in general with the Olympics. Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to have to, for the basketball, they're going to have to send the college players. Because if anything, they didn't get a proper send-off for the NCAA. So you got
where this going to be? Where's the Olympics going to be?
I'm out the look. Hold on.
I thought it was in Brazil. Was it in South America?
Olympics,
yeah.
2020.
Brazil.
That's also
Tokyo.
Oh no. Oh yeah, that's.
Oh, let's go ahead and just cancel that bitch right now.
They're canceling that. That's what I'm about to say. I don't see them. No, they're canceling that.
DJ, what do you think about WrestleMania getting canceled?
Nah, Vince already proved that he can make a show go on after somebody dies.
Yeah, God damn it! Right.
God damn it. Roll his body out of here. We got another match coming up.
Right. Well, it's an open air stadium. God damn it!
It's an open air stadium.
It's not contained.
Yeah, Vince is probably not gonna cancel WrestleMania. But
they were talking about it. There was a question about it. I don't know if it's even a discussion, but somebody brought it up.
I don't see stadium WrestleMania.
Yeah, I can see them doing it just because you got a lot of people congregating it together. I don't think they want to risk it.
Yeah,
you gotta think.
But you know what? Hold on.
No, go ahead.
But the thing about wrestling, you gotta have somebody to make some type of noise. You're gonna hear all the conversations like, hey, yo, when we get up, you're gonna hear all those conversations that they have in the middle of the ring. You know, those times when they're laying next to each other and then they're looking at each other. They're talking about like their next moves, like what are they gonna do here, what are they gonna do there.
Hey, you better do like The Rock and Mick Foley did in that fucking halftime match.
Just let it all go. Like, nah.
I don't know, man. It's gonna be. I think the next 2 weeks is really gonna decide. It's the first week of April, so oof.
Yeah, I think honestly, like I said, I understand why everything's been shut down, and I'm not saying that it's overreacting based on not knowing, but because you don't. I mean, let's be honest, we don't know what this may mutate to. Like DJ said earlier, it's a possibility that it could mutate into something more serious. Now, there has been a mutation of the virus that has been a lesser strain of it that hasn't been as fatal or as severe, but you just don't know. We don't know how these things roll. So I get it, but is this?
Have you seen this article about Ohio?
As far as
Ohio what? Health official estimates 100,000 people in the state have coronavirus.
I could see that happening.
I can see it
because in Italy they had 2,800 cases in a span of 20 new cases in a span of 24 hours.
Yeah, they in new cases, like right. I'm looking at the numbers right now. They had 2,651 in 24 hours.
Yeah.
So Italy has a really bad problem. As far as
everybody's gonna have a really bad problem.
The far as the Ohio thing, that's an astronomical number for me to actually say I can believe it, but I would not be surprised. Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Interesting.
It's nothing that exactly. It's interesting. It's nothing I can say like, oh shit, yeah, I'll wake up in the morning. I'm prepared to see that.
Well,
you know what I'm saying? It's like, nah.
I'll tell you what. If you guys have ever played that game, Plague Inc., it's playing out just like that. Like I've played the game several times. I actually re-downloaded it recently. Just to see how places tend to shut down. Like they shut down the airports, shut down seaports. They. Now we're at the point where nobody's supposed to be touching each other. They tried the elbow thing. It was like, nope, we're going to do the Demolition Man type of greeting. We're just going to stop short and then do that little circle. And then that's it. We can't yeah.
I mean, speaking of touching each other, what y'all think about this stupid ass basketball?
Oh no.
What you think about him?
You know what? It's funny. I was fine. You know how like defense attorneys defend murderers? I was about to play devil's advocate in that, but then when what was it? Yeah, when Donovan got infected and also there were other reports where they said that several Jazz players had said that he was kind of acting reckless. Yeah,
I'm gonna say this. This is the one thing I would do to play devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
I think Rudy Gobert reacted. Of course, as a celebrity, it's different, but he reacted the way a lot of Americans reacted when they heard about this shit.
Humor.
The difference is his shit was way higher stakes.
Not only that, I think he did what people do on social media in real life.
Yep.
That's what he did.
He did on a lesser level. I mean, now if he licked the mic, I'd be like, all right, motherfucker, you got to go.
Well, no. Slow down. People on social media ain't licking stuff except for the people in Iran. Them motherfuckers licking doorknobs.
No, there's a lot of motherfuckers licking shit on social media doing dumb shit.
We just came up with it.
If we're talking about licking other things, yeah, but I mean, that didn't sound right. Wow. That didn't sound right.
Wow.
Whoa.
We just came off a stint where people were taking ice cream out the store,
exactly.
Licking it and putting it back in there.
Putting them back
exactly
in.
Right. Exactly
like I said, Ariana Grande licked the fucking donut and put it back with her nasty ass.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's a trend. So if he would have,
it's not a trend. No, don't say that.
It is a trend.
It desensitizes people's feelings when it comes to real life events. Like you have a sickness or a disease like the coronavirus. I'm still calling it the C virus. The first thing to do is to make a funny joke.
When people
do something because I don't know, nerves, something like that, whatever the case may be.
When people heard coronavirus, they probably thought the same as a lot of these other diseases that have kind of.
Slow down. You got to understand that the number of it is 19. There's 18 other ones out there. It's just like 19 is the most recent one, and as of right now,
Weapon Cart 19, Weapon Cart 18.
I'm not going to say this is one it's possible. Isn't this one like more deadly than Ebola? Because Ebola was like COVID, what, 16 or something? I don't know the number, but it was coronavirus number something. And Ebola is like, I think it's more deadly or it's more potent.
Y'all played through Resident Evil 6? That's how they store those things in those vials, and you can weaponize all that.
Let's be honest. Outside of me, who really did finish the game?
You don't even have to finish it. You just get to the part where they're in like
Resident Evil 6 is like probably like the worst Resident Evil.
Oh, it is.
I'm dead serious. Like I'm not trying to be funny,
but if you go on YouTube and just watch, I think the part where you take back over, I think, trying to figure out, Leon Kennedy, his character, and they're coming off fighting the boss of the. He winds up being the final boss of the game, but they
right. I know
just finished the fight, and they wind up in somewhere in China.
Yeah, because I think that's where Chris
C virus
was, right?
is because he was flying the F4 Harrier or whatever, but somebody fired a missile which contained the C virus, and that exploded over a town, this urban city in China, and all of a sudden you see this blue mist, and all of a sudden everybody's instantly turned into a zombie.
I didn't. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, DJ. I'm sorry.
I'm not all that. I'm like, it's just the fact that you bring up that there's a number at the end of it. I'm like, a lot of these easily are going to be weaponized. And to tell you the truth, I thought initially when this happened, I thought it was being weaponized from the start.
And I still do.
I forgot King David lives in Ohio. I think he does. Mm-hmm. And he said they have a 1 to 5 confirmed. 1 to 5 confirmed, and those numbers are speculation. So it's a possibility that they may have that many people. That's kind of
we fucked over here in Massachusetts. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's like extreme. I'm not trying to be funny. That seems like extremely high for of all places, Ohio. Not saying that it's not
very high for anywhere, bro.
Right? Exactly. I mean, that's a lot.
Well, I know here in Maryland, I know there's been a confirmed case in a neighboring county to the west of us. And then there was another case from a part-time resident who normally lives in Montana, but was here in Maryland. She was in the county to the east of us. It's only a matter of time. I think it did in Baltimore City to the north of us. It's a matter of time before I'm like, Maryland already got hit with 12 cases.
Right.
So,
I mean, Chris Coleman's talking about Fast and Furious 9 is delayed. Shouldn't need to be canceled. The motherfuckers need to stop making them movies.
There's a lot of movies actually.
That's what I'm about to say. There's a lot of movies that's being pushed back because I think Sonic's already out, but in China they
Sonic they released it before all this happened, and then that movie was pushed back because somebody didn't do Sonic correctly.
Right. They had him looking like a hamster and shit.
Looking like a human hamster. I was like, what the hell? Like, fuck a hamster or something?
Motherfucker had
Sonic the Hedgehog in this bitch.
Motherfucker had pores coming out of his legs and shit.
Right. Like, who's this skinny blue furball?
Motherfucker out here going like Sam Roberts.
All right. King David said H1N1 was more deadly than Corona so far in the U.S. And I don't remember. People are freaking out, and I can understand why. At least with H1N1, that looked like a legit flu. It looked like something that you see every day. People sneezing, people coughing. But this is like an unknown because you're coughing and you have like respiratory issues. It's like it's flu-like, but it's like way more,
H1N1 was also called swine flu, if I'm
exactly. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Most people took it as like, okay, it's another form of the flu. And
some people erroneously was like associated with pigs, so it's just like
I remember they shut my school down for a week for that shit.
Yeah, and the reason why it turned out, I ain't gonna say that's the reason why it turned out more deadly, but more people died from it because the flu itself kills a lot of people, and they just took it as is. So I'm not saying I would never try to downplay what's going on with Corona, but my thing is it's just that I understand exactly what we're looking at right now, and it's I'm not saying it's not as bad as it could be, but it is really, in some cases, being blown up.
My prediction is 4 to 8 weeks will be good.
I'll say
Wait a minute. Did you say 4 to 8 weeks or
4 to 8 weeks?
I say 4 to
48 weeks.
4 to 8.
Okay, I was just making sure.
48 weeks. Shit.
That's another year. Shit.
I was just making sure because you said it fast. So
yeah, 4 to 8. Sure. 4 to 8 weeks. Probably like around. Probably around maybe first week, second week of April.
Wait a second. Charles Barkley's feeling under the weather?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, boy. Charles Barkley.
Yeah, see, that's
yeah, I just saw this tweet just now. It says, states he's feeling under the weather and has been tested for C virus, but hasn't gotten the results back yet. Okay. But they better check for chicken grease and all the other stuff.
Fucking Draymond's old mouth breathing ass went over there and probably coughed on him.
Right.
Sorry ass.
No, but my thing is like, at the end of the day, you still have to be vigilant. I've been saying this for the past 4 or 5 episodes. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Now, with the weather being warmer, I can see this possibly fading away because these type of viruses and flus don't last well in warm weather. That's why one of the reasons why you don't see places like Brazil and South America have astronomical numbers. Because it's like the summer down there now, and you don't hear about those places like the bottom part.
Because Nigeria, I think, has a few cases, but
it's nowhere near.
For a while, it was just nothing going on. I'm like,
right, exactly, and that's the thing is like I think right now Brazil got 77 cases. Nobody died.
They got other problems.
Yeah,
other cases they need to worry about.
No, you're right, though. That's serious. You're right.
Sure, I could say the same thing about Georgia, but, especially in Atlanta.
Yeah, it's just a lot of stuff that's going on that people need to really, really just take heed. Not like you said, just not this virus. It's just.
And the thing is, I say that because this is stuff that we should have been addressing from the start, like regular stuff. Like, if you've talked about like just doing the basic stuff, just to
that should be every day.
Yeah, and
not trying to be funny. That should be every day,
right? And protect yourself at all costs. Like, do the things that make sure that you are good, and that way, as long as you do that, and somebody does, and you do that, you can protect other people at the same time.
And I can promise you. I mean, I understand we have our conspiracy theories. I have one myself. I just don't like to push it on people. I think this is one of the reasons why China and Italy is having the problems now. China has always been known to not have proper hygiene. Italy has a lot of older people that lives there, so that could be a factor. Not just hygiene, just they have older people that live there, so a lot of those people could just be dying because they're just older. But not only those two countries. I mean, you can go in any basic country that look like ours: the UK, the Netherlands, Amsterdam. Any of those places, they just don't. They don't do hygiene like we do over here. So you see where a lot of these countries in that area, the numbers are way higher.
All I'm gonna say is, until we get this shit figured out, if you cough or sneeze without covering your mouth, the entire place and everybody around you should be allowed to slap the fuck out of you.
And I said it yesterday. Kick him in the nuts.
And I felt like that.
Even if it's a woman,
and I felt like that before the coronavirus.
Fuck that.
Right. But I felt like
she may have nuts according to today's society.
Well, she might not be a she, but but no, it's just like I felt like that even before this coronavirus shit. I can't stand that. Cover your fucking mouth.
Right.
Period.
Wash your hands when you get out the bathroom.
Right. Okay, wash your ass.
And then other tips on that, because people are still going to be going to work, whether they're sick
I have to go to work. I have to. I already talked to my boss. They're like, "Yo, your dumb ass is getting on that truck. You're going to drive tomorrow." I'm like, "All right, that's fine, but what happens if it actually gets over here in South Carolina?" Well, we'll look at it at that time. I'll say, "Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. If any product that we deliver comes back because it's a bad product or it's somebody who had that virus shit and they touch that product,
take my ass home.
I'm not even showing up. Fuck taking my ass home. I'm not showing up.
Shoot,
Look, I will park the truck outside the goddamn business, clock me out yourself. I'm going home. I told him I'm not dealing with that shit. Y'all bring some product back from somebody who was sick or one of the co-workers is sick. Y'all gonna catch that shit by your damn self. I will sit in the house. Y'all can fire me. I'll call the feds on y'all. I had a bitch shut down. I had that bitch shut down for discrimination. Y'all not about to put my life at stake over some goddamn Coca-Cola? Is you fucking crazy?
Yeah, my manager was on a train today. She was in New York. And motherfucker started coughing. I was like, you better get off that fucking train.
Exactly.
I'm not even fucking with you. You better get off that train.
Well, I'll tell you what, they already set up the first quarantine zone. So we got the division. And they sent the National Guard in. So the division already here. So the division about to happen.
So
in New York.
So at the end of the day, I don't want to go down this timeline. I'll just put it up on the screen. So y'all can it's a lot. It's a lot, everybody, and I don't know if I'll be able to blow it up to see because it's kind of small. I'll probably post it up on Twitter as well so y'all can see it. But this is the timeline of everything that happened yesterday. Why everything canceled out.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, this is a lot of stuff. Let me see if I can pull it. Well, I guess I'll go through a few things.
Basically, everybody said, "Fuck this shit, we're going home."
Basically, I'm gonna leave. Yeah, I'm gonna leave this right here. Tell me when y'all want me to scroll down. I'll scroll down. It stops at 6:40. But this is everything that happened from midnight. Midnight that of the 11th. So this is all the things that end up canceling or postponed or changed because of that stupid ass basketball player we won't name touching people. Did you hear about he was like touching people like stuff?
Well, that's what I was saying earlier. They said that some of the Jazz players had mentioned that he was being reckless with. But again, I'm like, I don't know if because they said that sometimes you don't know you have anything because the symptoms are dormant.
Because they said what's his name was feeling fine, like both of them really. They felt like they could play ball.
He just was laughing that shit off, like, yeah, we've heard this shit before, and then was probably acting like a dumbass. And he apologized for it and he owned up to it. So I have no smoke with it.
Yeah, I'm fine with him.
Yeah, I am. But if I was a teammate.
Whoa.
If I was any of the fucking team, if I was on any of the teams that he played, then I'd self-quarantine now.
I'd be like, I accept your apology.
that was like 7 teams, and they're like, "Yo, all of them got a self-quarantine now because they played this motherfucker."
But see, this goes back. This goes back to what I'm saying, and that's why I kind of took it a little bit serious. You don't know what some of these basketball players are doing when they're not playing. They can go home to certain family members who are, those
side chicks better get tested.
Exactly. Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
Because the Jazz were on the road.
Right, but all jokes to the left, it's like you don't know who.
Yeah, they are. It's supposed to go to the left.
You don't know who you're going. You don't know who you take, who you go home. Like who's that running back? Michael Pittman that played for the Bucks?
Yeah, I saw that.
He has an elderly person now that's his family member that are in critical condition. So it's like you don't know what some of these basketball players go home to, or if they do go home or whatever, who they come in contact with, and he's playing. It's like I get it. He was just joking, and from where I'm standing, all is forgiven because I wasn't there. But seriously, if I was a player, I would. Gobert would probably be losing some knees right now. I'd kneecap the shit out of his ass. Like
pull the Stewie, shot his kneecaps out.
For real. I'm like, that's like, because God forbid somebody goes home or they take time off and they go around a family member who has, pre-existing conditions. And they end up dying or getting really ill. And it comes to find out this motherfucker was touching your backpack or something. I mean, shit like that, you just don't know. You know what I mean?
So looking at this timeline, we really don't have to read this. Basically, in layman's terms, what happened was everybody followed suit
with the NBA,
with the NBA saying they're going to close the games off to fans, and then once the NBA said, "Okay, fuck it, no, we're not going to have anybody there," that's when everybody else said, "Okay, we'll do the same," and that's literally just what happened.
What's funny?
9:27 to 9:31. This is where really all hell really broke loose.
Yep.
At 9:27. I'm sitting here happy as shit because Georgia Southern would just beat Georgia State and we just beat the Georgia Bulldogs in baseball. I was so happy, and then I see this shit, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. You know what I mean? And it sucks, but like you said earlier, Bill, it's just the world we living in. Fucking sucks.
I'm laughing because they put G League suspended. Like anybody gave a fuck.
Hey man, listen. Those three
didn't need to be put up.
Those three people that show up to those games, bro.
You giving too much credit.
Yeah, they could have got the G League going. Those are finished numbers.
I know, right? Yo, talk about we gonna have G League games close to fans.
What fans?
I thought that's how y'all operated in the first place.
She using high school gyms to play the games then.
Hey, listen, the G League with those three people that show up faithfully.
They were G's, all right.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
3 people on the payroll to show up faithfully.
This is a good question right here. Doug Thomas asked, you know me and my friends are going to Dave & Buster's tomorrow night. He's starting to wonder. Where do you live, Doug?
Yeah, don't share them drinks.
Where does
he live?
That's what I want to know. Honestly, where does he live? I mean, I'm not trying to be, if he says,
we gotta find out what state he's in.
Yeah, because honestly, it's like, me, I'm like Ravens Nation. He said, y'all trip and go out and have a good time. If you can catch the flu from someone coughing on your corona, ain't no different. That is true. But the problem is the unknown. I'm 100% with you. That's why I said that.
Yeah, isolation is best.
Right, because that's why I said I think some of this stuff is blown out of proportion because
Arizona. Ooh, you better keep your ass in the house. Because that's kind of close to California. California has 100-something cases right now, going up quickly.
Mm-hmm. Arizona.
Man, just use caution, man.
Yeah, just use caution because I have a cousin that lives in Arizona. He said that there's not much going on. I haven't heard anything going on in that state either. But like I was saying, that's why I said that I think a lot of things are being blown out of proportion because of what we know. But I see why things are being shut down and changed because of what we don't know. We don't know what this virus is going to do. But as of right now, it's like you catch it. If you're under the age of 40, under the age of 50, get some rest, take basic medication, you'll recover. But then again, you just don't know. So it's like I get it.
The one thing that I suggested, I put this out on Twitter because I wanted to, throw my thoughts out there on Twitter about the whole wash your hands thing. I'm like, there's other things that that people need to do other than just basic hygiene. Is keeping their stress levels low. A lot of times, stress causes a person to become susceptible to sickness.
You're right. You're right, DJ. Drinking, we gotta take baby steps with some of these nasty ass people.
No, but here's another thing. Here's another thing though that makes your resistance low. Not getting enough sleep. People don't think that.
Absolutely.
And here's where this country is set up. It's set up on literally slave labor type hours.
Yeah, true.
Not like now. China has an issue with that, but so does the United States have an issue with that. You got, I'm like,
what time I get up in the morning? I get up at 3 every morning.
Yeah. And then what time do you get home?
I get home almost between 6 and 7 at night.
Yeah.
That's on. I'll take that back. I'll take that back. On an average between 4 and 6 every night, but that's still
I get
a lot of hours.
I get 8 hours of sleep 1 out of 7 days per week.
Yeah, I'm
about the same way.
I actually have statistics on my sleeping pattern.
I downloaded a sleep app, but I'm too cheap to fucking buy like the premium version that like records my snoring and all that shit.
Talk to Pooh. He'll pirate it for you.
Oh man,
Pooh can't pirate real shit. He be pirating fucking shitty games.
Hey, he be pirating free games.
He needs to pirate the NFL so the Eagles can win some fucking games next year.
Hey, he pirate free to play games.
Wow.
Oh shit.
The motherfucker pirating Fortnite and shit.
Right.
And say click here to download. That motherfucker going to Pirate Bay and shit.
Okay.
Out here stealing G League games like you can't get tickets when you buy a Big Mac and shit.
I know, right? He's sneaking into that bitch.
Yesterday was my first day in about a month of getting an 8 to 9 hours sleep. My body felt so much better. I felt like I could take on Mike Tyson. Oh, that might be a bit far.
Hold on.
That's a little stretch to take on Mike Tyson. Shoot,
what y'all be drinking down
there? Shit. What Mike? What 56 now and still kicking ass?
Mike Tyson will fuck almost anybody up, bro.
Right.
I'm good with 5 straight. That's how you can spell straight.
Hey,
5
we squate.
Spelling like that. You need more hours of sleep.
He put it down. He said George straight.
That's what I thought immediately. I'm good with 5 straight hours of sleep. That's all I need. I mean, look, no, here's the thing. Okay, we can. A lot of people can operate with that. The issue is you still are more prone to catching colds.
Not only that, Bills. It's not the how long you sleep. It's the time you also the time you go to sleep.
Yeah,
because if it's 5 hours, if he goes to sleep like before 9 o'clock, he's good. Honestly, because I think it was like some scientific, statistic out there saying that if you go to bed before 9 or 9:30, even if you get anywhere between 5 to 8 hours, your body's going to be good.
Mm-hmm. So it's called a circadian rhythm.
Right.
It's keeping that rhythm, and that's why. If folks didn't think about this, we just lost an hour because of daylight savings time. That threw everybody off. So, people's bodies react to that, and that happens twice a year. People get sick when that happens. They get sick when we get that hour back. But I actually have some sleep statistics from back in August when I was working an overnight job. So I had one day where I slept for only just 4 hours. I had another day where it's like 7, 5, another 5 hours, 7 hours. I think I only recorded those days, but I don't have, like, at that point, I didn't have consistent sleep, numbers. Like, I want to at least get 7 to 8 hours. I would love to sleep for about 9 to 10, but it's like the way this country is set up, the way our lifestyles are, is that 5 to 6 is almost the norm.
I'll tell you, I used to operate on 4 hours of sleep, like, for months on end.
I used to do that when I was in high school.
And my body caught up to me, and I was sleeping fucking long as hell. I stopped setting alarms. I said, I'm just going to sleep as long as I fucking can, because at this point, I'm a musician. I can make my own fucking schedule, and I would literally just sleep, and I'm like, bro, I'm sleeping so long. But it basically got me out of that. It got my body out of being so tired. I didn't realize how tired I was until I could actually go to sleep with no alarm needed. Just go to sleep. And I was like, fuck, I'm sleeping really long. And it kept happening. So now I'm back to where I can do like a 12 to 5. I try to get to sleep before 12, but sometimes I'm just so wound up or fucking just doing a lot of shit.
See, and that's another thing with Ravens Nation just saying they set you up to work a lot. And whenever you do have free time, you spend your free time on stuff that does not matter.
But that's the point of free time.
But the thing is that you do work, but a lot of times people get into the habit where their free time is resting.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
that's the issue.
When you have workplaces that are creeping up in the amount of hours you work per day, like, I'm like, one, it's just like you have laws in place that some states don't even have, lunchtime built into an 8-hour workday.
And they're supposed to have it.
Yeah. And you have work days that stretch for 9 to 10 hours, but a lot of jobs don't pay for your lunch. Don't pay for that lunch period. Of course, some jobs will pay for lunch, but I'm just saying they don't have that hour where it's just like, okay, you got to clock out. But it basically extends your day. You're at work still. You're not at home resting. Well, some people, if they're close to their jobs, if their home is close to their jobs, they're able to go home, de-stress, like for real de-stress, and then come back and be refreshed.
Let's consider this. Okay, so let's say you work a 9 to 5, right? And you drive to work. You're technically working a 8 to fucking 7 because you're in traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So really,
yeah,
commuting and working combined, you're working a 12-hour day regardless. And don't mention if you actually are working a 12-hour day physically at work.
Yeah, some of my days are almost 15 hours, but luckily I only work 4 days out of the week, but still, that's still a lot. I don't complain about it. I'm good with it. Mm-hmm. But we're looking at a situation where a lot of people, there aren't. Some people just can't. And like you said, with the stress levels, they can't handle it. Me personally, but prior to me doing this, when I was in law enforcement, I worked 12 hours. And I also work 4 days a week in that as well. So I'm used to, I guess my body is used to it. But people have other things going on in their life, like, finances, spouse, some people, have just regular relationships with people, children. Some people have BMD. Some people have, money problems. I said that already. They just have all type of stuff. So when you have all that's going on, the stress just levels up. And then when you work that many hours, you don't have time to stabilize.
Oh, go ahead.
No, so when you do get sick, or your immune system is being attacked because you're stressed out, that's where this stuff like this, with this COVID-19 stuff, you have to lower your stress level, like you were saying, Bills, because you don't want to be someone who catch something like this.
So here's the thing that Ravens Nation said. He said, instead of spending free time on resting, working out, talking to family members, lunchtime, you spend it on working even more, social media, partying, video games, watching TV, etc. Here's the thing, bro. I prioritize those things that you listed second over the ones that you listed first. Why? Because to me, talking to family members I don't like is easily more work than me being by myself in my bubble, playing video games, watching TV, etc. I'm sorry. Everybody has their releases and their outlets. They view them differently, bro. For me, I'm an introvert. I get tired of talking to people, being around people, being in environments with
same here.
A lot of people. I don't want that all the time. I don't want to be social all the time. I want to come home and be in my bubble. I want to be in silence. And that's just how it is. So everybody has their own releases. And for me, I like that second list way more than I like that first list.
There's a reason why I have a game room up here. I'll just leave it at that. There's a reason why I have a game room up here.
Exactly.
And it's not to be one of these people that's on YouTube like, hey, I got all this stuff. No, this is where I release and just chill out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just got stuff up in the chill. I got the couch, bed, all this other stuff, because this is where I get away from it all, and people need that. I mean, like you said, the working out, I work out enough at work. I mean, I deliver a lot of stuff, so I already working out. Talking to family members, honestly, if it ain't the older people in my family, I don't, like my grandmother, my uncles, my mom, my cousins and stuff, I love them to death, but yeah, you kind of know what I mean. But it's just, we're just not on the same wavelength anymore. We're getting older, but it's just that some of these things, like even sitting back in the chair and just looking at stuff on Twitter sometimes is very, very relaxing. Even though Twitter just twists your brain every day, sometimes just looking at some funny shit on there just makes your day go by a little bit better. Or it calms down your day. Doug Thomas, that's stress in itself. That's stress in itself. We're not even
plus the stress of rotate. What are you a fucking pimp? What is this? You have a bottom bitch? What is this? Plus the stress of rotating my women. What do you have, like a fucking real life MySpace? You have a top 8 and shit? What is this?
Damn.
People still use MySpace?
He does apparently.
Apparently, yeah.
He calls it my hose, apparently. Instead of MySpace. King Davis said, I have an outright diagnosed personality disorder. I hate being around people. I'd rather sit down at my desk and work on practicing art for 10. That's what I'm saying. See, everybody's different.
Everybody does it different. Right. He's right. And
some people's outlet is to go talk to people that they like.
I'm going to tell you something.
It's not.
I'm going to tell you something. I talked about this very briefly one time.
Mm-hmm.
I love practicing and looking at ways to make video quality better on my video games. I will sit up here literally playing with cables, hooking them up to TVs, trying to get a really clear looking image on my HD TV or my CRT. I like doing stuff like that. I mean, I don't know why. It's just stuff like that is relaxing. Like my wife comes up here, she's like, why you got all these cords all over the floor? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She said, can you find what is what? And I know what everything is. Like,
right.
But that's just the way I roll. I like getting another TV and say, okay, I got this 4K TV. I want to know how my Sega Genesis will look on it if I use my upscaler. And I do that, and I calibrate it, and I like doing stuff like I don't know. I don't want to do it, but when I start, I can't stop. I like it. It's very stress relieving. So a lot of people have different ways. Like DJ, you haven't shared any of yours. Are yours kind of private?
His are probably the same as mine.
I'm just messing.
I'm about to say, yeah, who you trying to find out? Mine is pretty much just gaming, politics. Believe it or not,
I believe it. At one point, I didn't, but I believe it now.
Yeah, if I'm not able to talk about politics, I get really stressed out because it's just one of those things where I have so many things just floating around my head. Why people are being so dumb in certain situations, and also realizing my own identity has changed as far as politically.
I think you low key have a passion for it. To be honest with you, and you may not know it.
Well, I think I understand it more now,
right?
Because when I would post stuff on Facebook, and it was the whole aspect of like debating, and at first I would look at it as exchanging ideas, but then I noticed how the way people reacted to some of the posts. I'm like, fiery reactions. Like I would literally say something and people would just get triggered off of it. And it's just like, it's not even about triggering a person. It's just the fact that I'm looking at it totally different than most people. And what I'm thinking is obvious, like just one thing real quick, Joe Biden's dementia is right there for everyone to see, but you got people out here that sit there like, no, he's just they're damage controlling it.
And don't get me wrong, I'm just like you when it comes to policies. I follow it, but I don't. I put it like I retain it because I need to know what's going on in my country, but I don't follow it and really debate people. Like sometimes I feel like I should, because I feel like I feel like sometimes I would love to talk to someone who actually talk politics, and so I can learn something from them. I don't want to go back and forth with nobody. I just want to learn. I want to pick someone's brain when I talk about politics, but because I do follow it a lot, and it is interesting. I will agree, but we all have our vices.
This funny stuff in the chat. Nah, he would rotate men.
I'm not touching it.
I'm glad you're not touching it.
Ravens Nation said if you lived in Atlanta, you couldn't rotate women. You'll catch something. I said, nah, he would rotate men.
I'm not. Look at that. And look at that. Look at my response. Like I'm agreeing with you right now.
Facts.
You were saying facts to somebody else, I thought.
Yeah, I was saying that the Ravens Nation said that he would catch something.
My God.
I put it there to say that he would catch something, but you said he would rotate me. Like you press enter like right before me. So now it says facts like it's true.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's terrible.
And to tell you the truth, and another thing that's a good distressor is this podcast.
It is.
It's nice in the middle of all this.
Because I started out tense. And look at me now.
Yeah, because it's like throughout all this, just to bring it back to life without sports right now, because Corona's shutting down shit. The fact that we can sit here, the three of us, and with the 12 people, hopefully more, can sit here and have a laugh. Some people are probably drinking rotating men or whatever they.
What kind of drink is that?
Ripple?
No, you said no. The way you said it, like he's drinking rotating men. I'm like, what kind of drink is that?
Because I didn't include a comment, pause in that.
Right. That's why it sounded funny. Like I don't want.
It was just the way I said it.
Right.
This is mad random, but why have I still been laughing to this day about when VF said sand sanitizer?
Yo, hey, get your sand sanitizer, yo. Be safe.
Bro, when he said that shit, I'm like, yo, that is merch if I've ever fucking seen it. If I see a shirt that says sand sanitizer, I'm fucking slapping the shit out of somebody. That came from our podcast, man.
Ravens Nation said Atlanta had a war before Corona.
Oh shit! AIDS. Yo.
No, he's right though. He's right. Atlanta.
They also have a problem of not winning championships too. They need to.
Hey, wait a minute. Stop. We got a soccer team that won multiple.
That you just realized.
Hey, listen. I'm not bandwagoning.
I already roasted you on that.
I'm not bandwagoning it, but I gotta state the facts.
Yes, you did. Yes.
Hey, listen. I'm not bandwagoning it, but I gotta state the facts that Atlanta do have a few championships from the soccer team. I gotta put that out.
We have 5 from DC.
I don't care. We got something.
I'm just saying.
I got something.
Get some more before you talk.
I agree. I'm not trying to compete. I'm just saying we got something.
But I'll say this, like, as far as like, downtime and kind of unwinding, my thing is I kind of go through phases in a way. Like, there was a time when my way to unwind was to hop on Call of Duty and hop on Battlefield, which all right, which would still be dope if I was playing video games. But now I feel like solitude for me is like always going to be what I go back to. This podcast is a great outlet, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm going to talk to anybody, it's going to be y'all two.
Oh,
I'm not making that sound effect.
but no, it's like y'all are
and like when I come to chat. Come on,
I know, right? When I come to this podcast, like it's like constant laughs, bro. It's like I either talk to my manager, or I talk to y'all. Y'all are the two people that like have me constantly fucking cracking up. So this motherfucker put a smiley face. You know what? but no, it's like I go in phases, man. Sometimes I want to go from dealing with people that I don't fuck with on a day-to-day basis to talking to people that I do to vent. Then sometimes I just kind of chill in solitude. I might listen to music, I might create. But yeah, I go in phases, man. But I'm never really the overly social type when I'm trying to unwind. It's very rare.
Yeah.
It's more so video games, music, and yeah, man.
And that's one reason why I do love doing this podcast. And I'm glad I got you two guys as hosts because different personalities, but at the same time, our personalities all mesh together for one goal. And that's hard to find when you get people together because you can tell like at the end of a podcast or at the end of a topic, everybody is still like an octopus with a lot of tentacles and they're still thinking a certain way. Like at least we all come to, even when we don't agree, we all come to agree to disagree and we move on without not knowing where everybody's coming from.
And people getting kicked off of podcasts and stuff like that.
I know, right? And fucking blocking each other on Twitter and shit.
Like,
Who don't want me?
It's like, Bills, you ain't bringing the same energy as you do when you're in the other podcast. You gotta go, son.
Like,
what the hell?
Yeah, that's crazy. King David, we really appreciate that. I'm put that on the screen.
Yeah,
we really appreciate that. I mean, look, we started out as doing funny stuff. I mean, go back to episode 100, talk about the ideas that we had that was so cringe. But it turned out.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it turned out, everything turned out to be great, and even with something as crazy as the coronavirus, it brings us together. Not only just talk about sports and sports gaming, which to be honest with you, we never really even talked about it in this episode, but it turned out to be a great episode itself. So it just goes to show you that we're not a one-trick pony. We can talk about anything, honestly.
Oh, that line is so funny to me now. Jake the Snake Roberts pulled out that line AEW 2 weeks ago.
Damn, hold on. You said 2 weeks ago?
No, actually last week. It was last week he said it.
Jake is still alive?
Yeah.
Oh shit! that just goes to show you how long I've been watching wrestling. I'm dead ass serious. I thought Jake the Snake.
He popped up on AEW last week. It was just like he was talking to Cody Rhodes, son of
all bullshit aside. Jake the Snake Roberts is my mother's favorite wrestler. When we used to watch wrestling, I was like
Georgia.
When I used to grow up, when I was young, growing up watching wrestling, I was like 5, maybe 4 or 5 years old. My mom used to like be into the TV, like loving it. I remember one episode. I mean, maybe y'all will know. What was the episode when Jake the Snake put that fucking snake on Andre the Giant, and Andre the Giant was laying there screaming for Bobby Heenan? That was a while back.
That might have been Superstars.
Yeah, that was a while back though. But I remember that as plain as day. I was a kid, and my mom was like, she was like somebody in the stands, like loving every minute of it because she loved Jake the Snake Roberts. Man, I might need to tell my mom he's still alive. She might be tripping. She
must have loved the fact that when he put that snake on Macho Man Randy Savage,
that shit bit the hell out of him.
I'm pretty sure she remembers it because I'm telling you, my mom used to love Jake the Snake Roberts,
and he does a stone cold impression of Macho Man Randy Savage when he tells that story of how that got set up for him to have that snake bite Macho Man.
You just reminded me of something.
Who's that? Hold on, real quick. Who's that other wrestler? Brutus the barber.
Beefcake.
My mom used to love him too, and I used to watch those. That's what I used to watch, man. It's like crazy. What you say, Jules?
DJ just reminded me of something. There was one time me, Jomar, and him were talking on PSN.
Oh, I deleted the video.
And we were talking about Macho Man.
Oh, no.
We were talking about... Okay, so there's a rumor out there that Macho Man slept with Stephanie McMahon when she was like young, and she's like in college.
Mm-hmm.
The fucking jokes and impersonations of Macho Man were so classic. It was fucking hilarious.
I don't know why, man. I don't know why, but that really bothered me when he passed away.
It was sudden.
Like he had a heart attack and
I don't know
driving.
Yeah.
I don't know why. You hear about like Chris Benoit. I think is it Luger going to?
Who?
Did Luger pass away?
No, he's still alive.
Who was the one? Not Luger. Elizabeth. Was it Elizabeth?
Elizabeth.
Somebody around Lex Luger died. Not
Elizabeth. It was Elizabeth.
Right.
Luger was out here getting her high and shit.
Right. You know, you hear about other wrestlers passing away or whatever, but for some reason, when Macho Man passed, that I'm dead serious. That bothered me for probably about 3 or 4 days, and I don't even know why. I guess it's a part of my childhood was like taken from me or something, but that was. And he wasn't even my favorite wrestler, but it's just still like
I go back watching some of his old promos. The promo leading up to WrestleMania against Hulk Hogan. I go and watch that one. That's probably the best lead up to a WrestleMania was his promos because he roasted the fuck out of Hogan.
But that dude had me cracking up during those promos because it's like, okay, the way they set it up back then was so perfect because like the little nuances of how he made it seem like Hogan was like a complete fucking homewrecker.
Right.
Yep.
You just have lust in your eyes, man.
And you know the thing about it is he really talked like that though.
That's what. Yeah, he really talked like that in real life. That wasn't.
Well, you also gotta remember they were also high as hell back then too.
Oh God, you serious?
We seen the Matter of fact, at the end of that promo, remember he took off his sunglasses, and then at the end, he was on that. He was on that cocaine.
Him and Michael Irvin were at that same club, man.
Right, exactly. And plus, you already know there is a video on YouTube of WCW wrestlers. Sting was in the video. Luger. I forgot
the
who
fucking
Road
Warriors, a Hawk,
and they were all like sniffing,
doing cocaine in the fucking locker room.
And you know, Sting is holier than thou, but like now, but you know, back then.
Let me put this up right. Chris Thomas says that he coming for the laughs and shoot the shit. I'm pretty sure that says shoot the shit, which y'all appreciate that. I already put King David up. He also said King David also said that when Eddie Guerrero died, it's that as a kid. That was a tough one too.
Yeah, that was a tough.
That one was tough too.
Speaking of these stories that we're talking about, if y'all haven't checked out this series, give Dark Side of the Ring a watch. They had a whole season of wrestling stories, famous wrestling stories. Bruiser Brody, what happened with his murder. They had one about the Montreal Screwjob. They had one about Gino Hernandez. This year they're gonna have this season they're gonna have one about Chris Benoit. They're gonna have one about Owen Hart. There's a lot of stuff that they dig into.
How they gonna dramatize him falling from the rafters?
I hope they don't try.
I'm not
because my dark side.
I'm not putting that on the screen, Doug Thomas. I'm not doing it. I'm
not doing it. Do you think? Oh, come on!
I'm not putting that on the screen.
Yeah, you want to go to the gas station and buy a Slim Jim? I got one right here for you.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm
right in my pants, alone down for you. Yeah. Got a Slim Jim for you. Yeah.
That is so funny.
Just gotta get out the plastic wrapper first.
Not so slim, I heard. Yeah, not so slim.
Right.
Yeah. Oh my god!
Don't chew on it though.
Wait. Wait. Hey, what y'all got before we go, man? I'm ready to slide, man.
Whoa. Slide where? Because when you were talking and breathing heavy earlier, where were you sliding there?
No, man.
Wonder why I didn't make the Hall of Fame, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Stephanie knows. Yeah. Oh my god, I love you.
What if Vince actually walked in on him and God.
Let me stop. We'll be here all day.
I don't know how. Like you hear Vince talk like normal. How the hell he gets that voice when he's acting? It's like, what the fuck?
Right. It's like he takes like a fucking like 1970s fucking like he takes a 1970s boxing announcer and mixes it with like fucking announcing Godzilla and fucking and puts them together, and it turns out like I don't know how he gets like that.
I don't know how he gets it.
Thoughts on Dubby's video? I don't pay attention to that idiot.
I saw it for a second and honestly, no.
His name's Dubby.
At one point, I had positive thoughts about him, but yeah, that's gone.
Was he the one that holding the football talking about simulation and shit?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good. I saw that one little clip.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Because he took it to a way higher level than it needed to be. And
that's what it seemed like. He does
he always
in
does.
Videos, and it's just like, dude.
I'm
like, you play in freaking tournaments. There's no need for you to be extra about anything. You get paid by EA because you win these tournaments. So
you know what? That's another thing. Like, why are we? I think the Sim Standard they finally realized it. Shout out to Smitty. I talked to him earlier today. He's in good spirits. I talked to him on the phone. He's doing pretty good. But nevertheless, why are we taking advice, commentary, thoughts? Why are we even looking at any of these people who are out here working or buddy with EA and trying to get any information from them as far as what we want? It don't work.
The way it works is that you turn your back and walk away.
Wait a minute. Is this weirdo really having a battle with somebody that told him NFL 2K1 is better than Madden?
I'm not going there.
Ravens
Nation, I may record some gameplay of Call of Duty. I mean, I already did the whole campaign on the channel. I got it on in the playlist. But if I can get it, I've been trying to log in for the past couple days. Well, all day yesterday it wouldn't let me log in. So
I was lucky to jump into a game. The game I had, the free to play one. So
once I get in, I will. But it's been flooded.
It seemed like I'm gonna have some fun in that war zone.
A lot of people saying it's pretty good. A lot of people.
It's just they gotta fix the optimization of it because it does lag.
Really?
Like in certain moments, like it can lag.
You're playing
even
on PS4, right?
PS4 Pro, but
no, I'm just saying. I'm just obviously, yeah, but I'm not saying it based on performance. I was just which platform.
No, it's on the studio side. This issue, if they optimize the game, then
it's a damn shame that they can't optimize games for consoles like they used to. You hear about this more on PC, but damn, why the hell consoles got to deal with this now? Shit makes no sense.
All I know is that, because I remember I played the Call of Duty beta back when, and I love the gunplay in that game. So just to jump back on and, grab that Scar H, I showed Bills the little gun battle I was in. Even though I got fucked up in it,
you won part of it.
That Scar H was banging.
Ravens Nation was about to get a mute just then, but he said 4 years. Boy, he saved himself. Oh, he saved himself when he said the past 4 years because
no, I was gonna say past and years saved you.
Yeah, past 4 years
because Battlefield 4.
Yeah, you would have got muted for probably about 200 million minutes.
200 million.
Straight up. You would have probably got muted for 200 million minutes.
Oh my
God. That probably would have been like 50 episodes until he was able to speak again.
You'd have been on the outside looking in for real.
Come back around Christmas time, like, can I come back in yet?
No.
Like, no, fuck. Oh my god.
Don't mess with Battlefield 4 now. We ain't doing that.
Nah, me and VF are not taking any Battlefield 4 slender, right?
Yeah,
we stood up for that game.
And also, me and Bills, we not taking any what was that mode on Hardline when you ride around in the car? No slander on that either. Hardline was ass, but that shit was fun.
Oh my god.
That shit was fun.
I don't know how me and VF made that game fun for like 2 weeks. I don't know how, bro.
But I don't know what the mode was. All I know is
Hotwire.
Hotwire. Yeah, you take the loot and you ride around in cars shooting people. That shit was fun as shit.
Hey, VF. You remember, I still had the video from when you was getting shot at. This is Battlefield 4. We was getting shot at by some person that was off on the side of the map. Like they was on a stack of rocks.
Oh,
remember I told you, like, keep them busy? And you were shooting. Y'all were having this gun battle, and I snuck up on them, stabbed them in the back.
Yeah. I remember. That was around the time when we could barely get in games that time because they kept kicking us out.
Yeah, that and PS4's recording capabilities were like piss poor. Like
they were like very early stages. Yeah.
Because you weren't heard in that. Like they only the video only picked up my voice, but even barely because they hadn't figured that shit out.
Yeah, because I was suppressing fire and DJ came around and knifed and that shit was dope.
There was one time, I'll never forget this shit, bro. There was one time, I don't even remember the fucking map. This dude VF got so heated at this fucking sniper. He's like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm tired of this shit. I'm getting these bitches out of here right fucking now. Next thing you know, you got RPGs blowing up 4 buildings in one fucking He took all the motherfuckers out, bro. I was dying because the way he said it was like Samuel L. Jackson on Snakes on a Plane. That's how he said it. Yo, he came out with RPGs. He didn't miss, bro. It was crazy.
Because I remember we was on Golden Run Railway.
Yeah.
It was on Golden Railway, and they kept sniping us every time we came. I was like, nah, fuck this. I'm tired of this shit.
Yeah.
I got the RPG, and it was like 3 houses, took them all down. I'm like, nah, we're not having this shit.
There's another time on Flood Zone we did the shit. We did it combined, though. We had to flank them motherfuckers. Yeah. They'd always hide on them back steps, bro.
Yep.
Oh my god, that game was so fun, man. So much
Battlefield 4, man. It's like I don't know what happened. It's still, to me, I think still the best shooter on this generation.
We called it. They would have a hard time.
It came out on PS3.
Yeah,
and it's still the best one this generation. It's crazy.
They were gonna have a hard time topping, and man,
they're still having a hard time topping.
They're still having a very hard time. I need to come back to current times. That would help.
Yeah,
that would help.
And it's funny because I reactivated my Facebook account and I can go back and look at the old videos. Like I said, that one video I told you about VF, that was one of them. But there was several others because at the time you could directly upload to Facebook. Now you can't.
I remember that. You could upload to Facebook back then. But see, that's what I'm saying is like Battlefield 4 was like one of the only games that I know that if you bought like the season pass, you felt like you got your money's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you bought premium, you got your money's worth. Now you get the shit. Now you might get a rinky-dink gun and some camo, and you say, "Oh, we'll see you in 3 months when we update the game." And then when they update the game, it's full of more bugs. It's like every single the new maps, the jungle maps, all the second what is called second strike or something like that. You got there was no bugs in that stuff. I mean, it played great. Once they fixed the original part of Battlefield 4.
Yeah,
everything flowed great. It was a great experience, and
I still would say, man, that hit detection
Yeah, it was great.
That
still
hit
good.
detection.
Still good.
Me and hold real quick before we go. Me and DJ were talking about the hit detection on Modern Warfare yesterday. It got to be up there, man.
It's not that bad. No, it's not bad at all. I agree.
Bro, it's
not bad.
Yeah, because wait, did I show you the did I show you the recording in the gulag when I shot the dude and all the shots hit? Like he missed the one time.
Oh no, I didn't see it.
Oh, I think
that's good. But you
I
think,
just showed Bills this.
Okay, yeah, but that's good stuff though, because Call of Duty had a problem with that since at least Black Ops 2. So that's good stuff.
But also another funny thing, just to think about that moment when I won that battle, how many shots I fired that landed after he died. I felt like the police when they saw a black person come around. I kept shooting like until the clip emptied. I was just like, oh damn.
But yeah, man, that game is superb, man.
Yeah, it's still great to this day. I mean, I still got it downloaded on my PC. I haven't looked in there. I'm pretty sure people still playing it. I know they're playing on PC. I can't say much for consoles, but I know on PC people are still playing the game. They still love it. Anything else you got before we go, DJ?
Nothing else. I know the last thing we're gonna see from the XFL was the DC beating the shit out of the St. Louis Battle.
Don't do that. Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man.
That physical ass whooping. And once again, Bloods over Crips. What's up?
Chill, man.
Okay. Now you're just talking shit. Now
I can't, but I can't say nothing because he's right though. Can't say that, man. There's so much promise.
Here's the funny thing about that. Why didn't St. Louis change up their strategy a little bit? It seemed like they tried to run over.
They got advice from Kyle Shanahan. That's why.
Oh God! Shoot, they also got advice from Jake Gruden.
Yeah. What you got, Bills?
Especially with Matt Jones in the backfield.
This has been a great episode.
Yeah, it turned out to be a really good one.
That's what I like to say. I've enjoyed this episode thoroughly. I think everybody kind of collectively needed this.
Yes,
I agree. I'm gonna tell you right now. I know I did. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really did. Because I'm still, it's always gonna be in the back of my mind, or probably in the front of my mind, because with my family or whatever. I mean, it's kind of hitting a little closer to home. So,
right.
But other than that, I needed this. I totally agree with you, Bills. No doubt. As for me, I got a video coming out referring to my original Xboxes. I'll talk about them then. It's not all bad. It's pretty good, but I'm going to talk about that. And I did finish the season on Madden 08. I lost in the AFC Championship.
Damn.
I lost to the Chargers.
Wow.
Third time in a row now. First game I lost. Remember I showed y'all when I lost on that field goal?
Yeah.
I lost that one. Then I won the second one in San Diego. I won that one 24-3 or something. I ended up having to face them again, even though they were the number one seed. We were both 12-4. They had a better conference record. So I ended up having to play them after I beat the Bengals and I beat the Jets. Now, mind you, believe it or not, the Jets were the defending Super Bowl champions, but that's all in video game football. I beat the Bengals 34-7, and I lost to the Chargers 23-13 in the AFC Championship.
And what did the Chargers do after that in the Super Bowl?
Well, I haven't done that yet.
Oh, damn. I would have loved to.
Because I want to do that, because once I do that, that's when I'm going to go into the draft, and all my NCAA 08 players are going over to the draft. So I'm probably going to live stream that. But before I do that, I have a video that I have to talk about my
Damn,
Xbox.
Doug was like, fuck the Chargers. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't really like the Chargers. I'll be the first to say I really don't like the Chargers.
Yeah, but the Chargers, like, no joke, man. The Chargers are, like, really good in Madden 08 on PS2.
Bro, on paper, for the pretty much entire PS2 era, them motherfuckers were, on paper, always one of the top-rated teams.
Right. They're really
LT,
good.
Sean Merriman, fucking Philip Rivers,
Quentin Jammer.
They
Cromartie was on the other side of the field.
McCardo
on child number 6.
Right.
What's his name? What was the receiver they had?
Keenan McCardo one time. David Boston.
Not David Boston.
Oh God.
Vincent Jackson.
Vincent Jackson.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Obviously, Antonio Gates.
Yeah, Michael Turner was the backup running back.
Bro, it's crazy. Darren
They had a pretty sick team, but yeah, they beat me by 10. So I'm gonna do.
The Utah Jazz has a sick team.
Oh, nah, why?
Come on.
Why you had to do
Come
that?
on, man.
Why you had to do that?
Come on.
Muting this mic, man. Why you had to do that?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie. I saw a meme that had me cracking the fuck up. It had the meme of like Ronald Isley from the song "So Contagious," right? So he was saying,
"Leave all that alone."
Now mute his mic.
No, because I didn't finish yet. So he was like, "So contagious," right? And then he's like, "So contagious, touch me, baby, give me what you got," right? And then it said, "Coronavirus is like, yo, this nigga spitting."
Now mute his mic. I told you.
All right, guys. I'm gonna tell you something, you guys, man. Not only just the co-hosts, the people that are in the chat, we really appreciate y'all for coming by and actually breaking bread with something like this. This is totally different from what we were. I mean, the topic is like stuff that we do, but we went off on something that we don't do. And for you guys to stay with us the entire time, we really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Some
shout out to you guys.
Yeah, shout out to you guys. Because a lot of people tend to like go off like, oh, they talking about this. I'm gonna go eat some sandwiches. But no, y'all guys, y'all staying around. You know,
that sounded like one person in this community. But I'm not even gonna go. Your voice killed me. I'm gonna go eat some sandwiches. Oh my God.
Hey, King David, I'm glad that you found this episode hilarious. It turned out to be really good because I'm telling you guys, all of you, I really needed this because I was really worried. I mean, I wasn't able to talk to my grandmother as much today because she actually had an appointment at the doctor today. So I did talk to her for a moment. Oh, and I was just like worried because I mean, it's just the unknown. You don't know. I don't know what's going on in Georgia. All I know is a lot of people catching this shit. She's about to be 90 in November. You know what I mean? You know, I just don't know. So, but I needed that. And I don't know what I'd do without you guys. I really needed that. I really thank y'all. Like, seriously. But
no problem, man.
Oh, there's another thing I didn't think about. And I had popped on Facebook just to see somebody post this. Okay, so this goes on. Then you run into April 1st.
Oh, come on.
See,
we have another situation that's about to pop up. So
let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you right now. If this shit's still going on April 1st, don't play. Y'all play around
and somebody gonna get shot that day.
Don't play. I'm dead.
Somebody's getting shot that day.
I'm saying, don't play. I'm not saying I'm doing anything, but somebody gonna get hurt. Playing around on April 1st with this shit going on. Don't do that shit, man.
April 1st be a lot of people's death.
Right. Like, they'll be like
died on April 1st.
They'll be like since the first time since the coronavirus has been on U.S. soil, more people have died from gunshot wounds than the coronavirus.
bro, CNN gonna post some shit like, rumor has it if you've held your phone in your right hand the past 7 days, you probably have coronavirus.
It's like fucking C-19. You gonna die by the hands of an AK-47.
Listen, man, I don't want to see no foolishness on my timeline, man. Don't play, man, for real. Stop.
Shoot, SARS, Scar H, motherfucker.
Right. Fuck SARS. You better get these scars.
Right.
And then Resident Evil 3 comes out
that same month.
Yeah, play with it. And wait a minute, I gotta say this. The fact that we're hearing that the Nemesis can bust through save room doors.
Y'all got it.
Though. That game's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Man, the crying is gonna be at an all-time high.
Right. All right, man. We out, man. Tuesday, catch us, man. Straight up. I got a few things coming out of regarding, the franchise. Franchise is still going. Nothing crazy going on, but I do want to talk about the original Xbox. So, Doug Thomas, go to bed. All right. Hey, man. We'll see y'all. We'll see y'all Tuesday, man. Y'all take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
C virus.
And you know what? Before I say peace, fuck that. Hold on. Before I say peace, catch us on iTunes. I was about to say Spotify. I still haven't heard nothing back from them. Catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud.
We'll send the C virus over there.
Exactly. SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play. We're on there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if you catch us here and you want to listen to us when you're eating your sandwiches, you can catch us there. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Yo, why is GameStop charging $107